My name is Jack McKenna. Welcome to introductory-level photogrammetry presentation, Analytical Aerial Triangulation. Analytical aerial triangulation is a term applied to the process of determining the X, Y, and Z ground coordinates of individual points, GCPs, based on photo coordinate measurement. We perform relative orientation on each stereo model, and there's a connection of adjacent flight line models. Simultaneous bundle adjustment. Adjust all photogrammetric measurements to ground or airborne derived control values. Bundle refers to the bundles of light rays passing through the camera lens. The light ray bundles are adjusted simultaneously. Simultaneous adjustment of the photos from the flight lines to survey control GCPs or Airborne GPS, AGPS, derived coordinates of the exposure station of each aerial photo. It's a large format film aerial camera, the Wild RC30 on the manned aircraft platform. Forward overlap 60%, side overlap 20 to 30%. Airborne digital sensors. This is the Leica ADS40, a manned aircraft platform. The Leica ADS40 is a large format airborne digital camera, one of the first to replace film mapping cameras for national scale photogrammetry. The RIEGL VUX-1UAV. It's a survey-grade multi-rotor laser scanner, delivers high-accuracy 3D point clouds, forward overlap 70 to 80%, side overlap 60 to 70%. Film camera Fiducial marks. These 8 Fiducials are the basis of the camera calibration certificate. This is a close-up of the Fiducial mark. Large format film camera calibration report, page 1. Large format film camera calibration report, page 2. UAS camera calibration certificate completed by the sensor provider and contains all the metadata associated with the certificate. Dual LiDAR and photogrammetry collection. This is the best of both worlds with the simultaneous or coordinated acquisition of both LiDAR point clouds and photographic imagery from a single UAV platform during a single flight mission. LiDAR emits pulses for 3D geometry. Camera provides overlapping geotagged images. There are considerations. Payload weight requires a robust UAV. Data volume is very high, requires large storage and post-processing capabilities. Calibration and synchronization between sensors must be precise. Post-processing software must support multi-sensor integration. The photographic end lap. End lap is the overlapping of successive photos along a flight strip. With film, it's 60%. With drone imagery, it's 70 to 80%. The photographic side lap, the overlapping of adjacent flight lines. For film, it's 20 to 30%. For drone imagery, it's 60 to 70%. Collinearity condition equations. Collinearity is a condition where the exposure station of any photograph, an object point, and its photo image all lie in a straight line. Collinearity condition equations. The collinearity condition equations are developed from similar triangles. Some of the equations are nonlinear and involve 9 unknowns, the 3 rotation angles, omega, phi, and kappa, the 3 exposure station coordinates, XL, YL, and ZL, and the 3 object point coordinates, XA, YA, and ZA. They are probably the most useful of all equations to the photogrammetrist. Antigua and Barbuda airborne GPS parameters. This is metadata concerning the aerial photo acquisition for Antigua and Barbuda. GPS antenna offset for a manned aircraft film camera, in this case, the Piper Aztec PA-23. This shows an airborne GPS ground station on the aerial photography. This shows a targeted ground control point. This shows the targeted ground control point on the aerial photography. It's a photo ID ground control point. This shows the photo ID ground control point on the aerial photography. The Barbuda flight lines shows the individual exposure stations and the GPS control. This shows the airborne GPS data from the aircraft. This is the aerial triangulation process, which culminates in the transformation to projection, northing, easting, and orthometric height. Accuracy, precision, and errors. Accuracy, the degree of conformity to the true value. Precision, the degree of refinement of a quantity. Error, the difference between a particular value and the correct value. Types of errors. Mistakes or blunders, gross errors caused by carelessness or negligence. Systematic error, errors which follow some mathematical or physical law that can be fixed with the correction being applied. For example, camera lens distortion. Random errors, errors that remain after mistakes, and systematic errors. For example, misreading a vernier scale. The least squares adjustment, the theoretically correct method of treating errors. Observations, directly observed quantities which contain random errors. True value, the theoretically correct exact value. Error, the difference between a measured quantity and its true value. Most probable value, the value of a measured quantity that has the highest probability of being correct, and this is determined using least squares adjustment. The standard deviation, a quantity used to express the precision of a group of measurements, sometimes called the root mean square error. It's an aerial triangulation report created by BKS Surveys of Northern Ireland for their Bermuda project. It shows the island of Bermuda was covered by 9 strips of photography forming a block of 173 models. The RMS error fit on the control used was very high, easting 0.08 meters, northing 0.04 meters, and the height 0.05 meters. Conclusion, precision from sky to interface. Analytical aerial triangulation stands at the intersection of geometry, physics, and technology, converting overlapping aerial images into precise 3D ground coordinates. It's an integration of disciplines, combines airborne GPS, ground control points, digital aerial images, photogrammetry, and least squares adjustment into one coordinated process. Accuracy and reliability. It strengthens spatial control between flight lines, ground control points, ground stations, and calibrated sensors. Modern innovation. The advances in UAS, LiDAR, and multi-sensor data fusion enhance productivity and spatial accuracy. The practical application supports land administration, infrastructure development, and environmental monitoring worldwide. This has been Jack McKenna of Land Data Plus LLC. Email jack_McKenna@landdataplus.com. Thank you for your time and attention.